know what's changed in that period? What year was that? 2006?
2000.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed since 2006 for first home buyers and for people in general is it's an annuity model where you used to go and buy a mobile phone outright. Now you'll go onto a contract where you'll go and buy a television and have free-to-air television, pay for the television up front, pay nothing ever again. Now you got Netflix. So I think there's a lot more annuity, monthly, little bills that are coming in for people that they never had before. You used to buy shit and it used to stick with it. People used to buy a car outright and drive it with no debt per month on it. Now people have that monthly debt coming in on most cars. So the annuity model has crept up on people, which makes it so much harder to save when you've got those little bites coming out every month. That's changed.
100%. And I just want to bring up another image I think would be interesting to have a look at. Where was it? Because it was a timeline. Oh, hang on. I'll stick to this. Okay, so then let's scroll. Let me get to the actual.
Burge, what was that? Those mediums were New South Wales based, were they? Australia based?
Yeah, this is New South Wales. So if we go down, so the average saver, which is this is probably very disappointing. This figure. This is probably the biggest alarm bell that goes off in my head. The average bonus saver rate. Now, actually, I don't know if that's what the bank gives you for the interest saver rate, or is that the percentage people are saving? Let me just, because if
time to save that deposit. So I guess but also, guys, where there's a will, there's a way. We're referencing, and this story is referencing a 20% deposit. For first home buyers, you can have the ability to use only a 5% deposit, and banks will write a loan for 95%. Also, for first home buyers, you can pay no stamp duty, which wasn't around in 2006. And also for first home buyers, you can use your voluntary contribution in your super element, so you can actually save money earlier with less tax by putting into your super, then use your super to actually purchase a property. So there's not only, in addition to, is your wage a lot better than what it was in 2006, but there's some really nice little schemes there that the government's offering and incentives that you can ride.
That's a very good point, because you look at the growth. So wages went up 65% and property prices went up 125%. So it would be worth it to do a 90% loan, get into the market, rather than trying to take those 5 extra years mark to buy a property with a 20% deposit. Like, there's a big difference there. Because what would that be? 8%? Yeah, it's huge. And so the key of this data is not to look back and go, it sucks now. I wish I was born earlier. All hope is gone. It's to basically take a breath and go, okay, these are the facts. It's 15 years if I do it that way. I'm 25, so I'm going to be 40, which most people are working, till 65 now, even longer. So it's not like life's over if you started at 25 and you did the 20% deposit, or you go, I'm going to do a 10% deposit. Worst case scenario, I'm going to buy when I'm 35, and you're going to still have that growth there. So it's more so people know, because they almost, when they leave school or from 15 years old, 16 years old, they should be thinking then, put a little bit away to buy a property. Because if you're thinking at 15 and you want a 20% deposit, it's going to be till you're 30. A lot of people just sort of think, oh, that's an older me problem. I'll look at it when I'm 22, 23, and you go, oh shit, 15 years. Now I'm going to wait 36. So it's good to know this data so you can plan, and parents out there can share this with their kids, and they can say, hey, it's going to take you 15 years to save a property. Like, you would ask them, do you want to buy a property? Yes. When would you want? What age do you see yourself? And they may say, well, after school is after this. So maybe around 28, I'd love to buy a property. You go, okay, well, you needed to start saving 2 years ago. Oh shit, wasn't even thinking of it. Well, this is the plan. Let's work it all out. So
it's so tempting, though. It's so tempting. Like, it's a bit like weight loss. There's your chocolate, there's your chips, there's your whatever it is, and you're like, you want to go down, and saving for a deposit or for your home is a bit like that as well. There's so much good stuff in life.
yeah.
It's really hard to stay disciplined and get that deposit together to buy. Good morning to Arbine. How are you, buddy? Luke, good morning. Melbourne, you got data on Melbourne?
No, but I do have broad data. If you follow me on Instagram, there are some, not the exact same information, but there is some similar information across my feed. And that's on Instagram, Michael BURGIO. Also, I would recommend following Danny Doff, DOFF, LinkedIn. He has some tremendous data on LinkedIn that will sort of help you there. Luke, small, correct. Sydney's always going to be expensive. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what, Michael? We've always said to viewers as well, don't worry about the dream property as well. Just get in there, so you can always sell that and upgrade later. So, for example, a lot of people, they're a family of 4 and they dream of a 3-bedroom house. Just buy a 1-bedroom unit and rent it out, and then transfer that to a house after 5 years or 7 years or something. So it sounds a bit counterintuitive because you're trying to get into a place that you can live, but you don't have to live there. You can buy as an investment, let it run, and then convert and trade up later.
Exactly what Pedrag did. We had him on the show yesterday, buying the units.
Yep.
Okay. Also, there was a good article, Jonathan Thurston. There was an article that he budgeted himself of living off $400 a week, $300 a week, even when he was earning $1 million contract with the NRL. So if you Google it, Jonathan Thurston, the Cowboys NRL player. But here's that image I wanted to reference of a timeline of sort of property growth. There's a full article on my Instagram, which goes from 2001, first home buyer grant, 66% were owners, 23% renters. Then 2003, interest rates were 6.6% population, 20 million. Then it went from, so in 2008, interest rates were 9.5%. There was a stimulus package in 2009. Then you go to population up to 22 million.
That's cool.
Yeah, 2013, interest rate 6.3%, population 23.8. Really, and there's some 2021, 4.5%, population 25. So there's some really good data timeline, and this is great when you're sitting with owners and they ask you, how's the market? I find I have great conversations with owners where I can reference stuff like this and send them information like this, because most of the time owners would ask, and the agent would try and find out, well, are you a buyer, are you a seller, and just tell you it's great. But when you can back it up with data, images, timeline, it just gives you, they just know you're the authority and you've got the credibility to look at. So, follow it, save it, share.
All right, so before we go, what are our takeaways from earning more and you still haven't bought a property? Basically, it's fact that wages are a lot more than what they were in 2006, that prices are a lot more than what they are, almost double than what they were in 2006 on average for New South Wales. And it is taking, instead of 9 years to save a deposit, 14 years to save a deposit. What are the takeaways, Burge?
My takeaway is, watch the spending. Watch where you can minimize that. Look at maybe doing a 10% deposit rather than a 20%, because the old mindset was 20%. So look at 10%, getting in the market. Time in the market is powerful. And look at the saving rates, probably.
I love that saying. Time in the market is more important than timing.
Yep, and saving. Like, you'd rather get the market quicker than save that extra. So we may be able to spin that saying, it's time in the market, not saving for the market. Yeah, it's time in the market, not time saving for the market. There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep.
Like
a poet.
Yeah. My English teacher will be proud.
Yeah, you're good at making up words.
Yes. Okay, I think that's a wrap. Luke, Arbin, I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but thank you very much for tuning in. Any data you need, any questions, topics, we're always open to have topics as well. If you want to come, and also if you're a business owner out there, want to come on the show and chat about your business and how things are going, happy to accommodate that as well. Love a local.
We're going to get Pedrag back on again. He had a lot to say.
Definitely. I just love the part where he thought he bought a studio and he bought 2 apartments. But thank you, everyone. That's a wrap. We'll be back tomorrow morning.
See you guys. Take care. Hopefully